So it definitely wasn't a perfect run by any means, but it was still a pretty good run up until that. No, don't apologise. It wasn't your fault. I would have made that mistake anyway because I wasn't thinking about it. How accurate is Summer Best? Not at all. That's the short answer, at least. Okay. Actually, no. I'll wait until furniture. I'll wait until I've rearranged furniture to explain why Summer Best is not accurate. Okay, not brilliantly quick, but at least I didn't mess it up. Okay, so Summer Best is not accurate, and basically this is the reason why. The biggest part of the reason why is because it's like these splits have gone from so I don't think I've used exactly the same file, but a lot of things will have been kept over from when it was a ridiculously long, like 5-hour run, to then when it was like a 3-hour glitchless run, or like just under 3-hour glitchless run, to now a glitched run. So some of the splits reflect that, some of them don't. So for example, the best for this split, which is under 6 minutes, even if I was like really good at rearranging the furniture, just because of how much more there is to move than there was when I got that best, I wouldn't be able to get that best again before like more time set, or rather like bigger differences between my bests and PBs. I think so. The best way to explain it is basically there are things that you'll do in one split that you may not necessarily have done in your PB or in your best. So for example, in my Egg Festival split, in the run I was just on, I was like a minute or so behind at that split. But the big reason as to why I was behind at that split was because I got the passing out note on Spring 3, whereas in my PB I probably would have got it during the split for Spring. So it just kind of depends on, like, sometimes there are things that you'll do in one split that you won't always do in that split. And then sometimes it's just like route changes that haven't, where I just haven't gotten rid of an old best. something actually that I've just thought of, well not thought of, but something I've been reminded of rather, is so the first item you get in the game is the pedometer, and using inventory storage you can not only duplicate just regular items, but you can also duplicate tools. And one of the things I think which is like a really big shame, is the fact that if you have, so you can duplicate it so that you have a rucksack full of pedometers, so you can have 10 pedometers on you at once. And the thing that upsets me is it doesn't like increase a step for each pedometer, so it's not like one step does 10 steps because you have 10 pedometers on you. That's like one of the biggest shames, because actually that was, because yeah, just 10,000 steps was in the run for quite a while, and it was kind of funny because it was like the more optimized the route became, the less running around you did, so the more difficult it became to do the 10,000 steps note. And when I discovered this and discovered that you could duplicate tools, there was a brief moment where I thought, oh man, maybe 10,000 steps could finally make its comeback into the route. Unfortunately, it didn't though. I don't actually think there are any benefits to duplicating any of the tools. Yeah, unfortunately duplicating weeds doesn't do anything because you get the yeah, exactly. So it counts towards it when you pick the weed up, not when you drop the weed or anything. So duplicating a weed doesn't really do much. Oh well, I mean it does about the same as duplicating other items. Actually, wasn't what I meant to do. I meant to eat that. I should have had that. I definitely pressed X and not B. I'm not sure why I put that into my bag. always never quite sure whether there's like whether there is actually logs down there or not. Because it just seems like the perfect way to be bamboozled into going down a dead end. Okay. So, oh, whoops, I forgot you can zoom in and out. So talking about the different items that you can duplicate and stuff, actually got me thinking about some strats and stuff. And one of the things that's always kind of annoyed me is the fact that so there's the note you get for shipping 10 milk, there's the note you get for shipping 10 eggs, and there's a note you get for shipping 10 wool. The difference between those is you can buy milk and eggs, but you can't buy wool. So that's what should theoretically on paper be a really quick note, but you can't, but isn't a quick note because you can't, there's no like quick way to get wool. And I guess there still wouldn't technically be a quick way to get wool, but it would be kind of a 2-for-1 situation. Is I was just looking up if there is anyone who gives you wool as a gift. So when you befriend someone, when you get them to either 2.5 hearts or 5 hearts, I don't think there's one for anything after that. No, I should have gone for that. Whatever. That's a really good rock climbing minigame, by the way. But yeah, so when you get someone to 2.5 hearts or 5 hearts, they give you a gift. So I was just looking up if there's anyone that gives you wool as a gift. And as a matter of fact, there is. It's Leela. So that would be 2-for-1 notes, because you'd get wool from her, and you get the note for befriending her. But then it's just obviously a matter of fact of how quick would it be to befriend Leela. Because that's the thing, she's not as integrated into Run as some of the other people. Like, she's a little bit more out of the way. What does Leela like? So her favourites, so the items that she loves, is high quality pumpkin, which you may be able to buy. Because sometimes the crops that you buy from the shop are high quality. So like, well, I don't know about high quality, but so for example, Joe loves the corn that you buy from the store, but Ellen doesn't love the breadfruit you buy from the store. The only other item that she would like is pink cats. Well, actually, I guess because of what's it called? Item duplication. Items that you could cook. So high quality pumpkin, pumpkin soup, pumpkin pudding, and pink cat flowers. Come on. Cool, 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 cool. I don't want to take any risks. Again. Well, she does like the breadfruit that you buy from the store, but she doesn't love it. So if you grow your own breadfruit, she loves that. But if you buy it, she just likes it. But the biggest problem with things like trying to befriend Leela would be things like, one, she's someone that you actually have to get into town, so she's not like a starting off character. Second is that I don't think her shop opens at 6, so that would be like her biggest problem, is the fact that you'd have to wait every day for it to open. And then it's just like, and then the next would be just how far it is from anything else, or from any of the like spaces where you could put your house. Yeah, so it would potentially be useful for 100 notes. The problem with that is with 100 notes, you have to get wool anyway. Oh, well, you don't have to get wool, but actually no, that would be an easier way of getting wool for 100 notes, because it would save you having to get a bunch of sheep and either having to look after the sheep for ages, because sheep only, you can only shear a sheep like every week or so, or like every 7 days or something like that. So it's either get a bunch of sheep and wait till you can shear them, or get just one sheep for get one sheep and just raise it for ages. So with the animals it's kind of difficult, so there aren't any like, so it's not like I was gonna say it's not like Harvest Moon DS, but I guess in a way it kind of is. So basically the only note you actually get for like buying animals is the Animal Kingdom note, which is for having as many animals as you can have. So it's having a max barn and a max chicken coop. But in terms of caring for animals, it depends on what it is. So there's a note for getting your dog to 3 hearts, but there isn't anything like that for any of the other animals, kind of. So there's the note for getting your dog to 3 hearts, but then there's the note for winning the cow festival, winning the sheep festival, winning the chicken festival, and winning the horse race. And in order to win those festivals, you need to have them on certain hearts. And then there are obviously like a few notes which you're supposed to use on animals. So like the brushing note, for example, you're supposed to use on your own animals, which in 100 notes I imagine you will actually use. Like you'll get that note naturally. But in any percent you just brush Blue Sky Ranch's animals because it's quicker. That's actually the thing though, like, so those few festivals, the animal festivals, are probably the thing that would take like the longest. So things that would take the longest in 100 notes would either be the animal festivals, befriending everybody, because there's a note for every single bachelor and bachelorette in the game, and as well as like a few others. Or I guess just any ones that are like classed as random. So things like catching 10 cans, or what else is there? Things like getting to the bottom of the winter mine. So things like that where it's like it could take not that much time, or it could take loads of time, and it's not really up to you. It's just completely luck. Is it possible to go on sick in this game? I think so. I think it's something like if you pass out. There are like a few status conditions you can have. So there's like I think there's something like if you pass out in the rain, or if you pass out too much or something like that, you can become ill. If you stay up late, if you stay up till the next day, you become drowsy, and everything you do become like uses more stamina. And you can also become drowsy from drinking too much soda, which I find kind of amusing, because it's soda as in it was localized as soda. It was localized as soda. But in the original games, I believe it was alcohol. So, despite the fact, or despite like the common thing where like soda shouldn't make you tired, in this game it does because it was alcohol. So yeah, so if you drink too much soda in this game, you can become sleepy or drowsy. I don't know. I mean, I definitely don't think it was something that needed to be censored. I imagine it was probably censored to get like a certain rating or something. It's like whatever rating it actually is. I think it's a 7+. I might be wrong on that. But yeah. But I imagine it was censored to like so that they didn't have to bump up the age rating or something. But I think that's something that I think they should have at least changed that specific thing. Like, calling it soda, not necessarily bad, but the fact that it makes you tired. Or the fact that the note for drinking 10 of them is called high spirits. Because I think that's just funny. Because that's just like... That's okay, I get they tried to censor it, but it's... If you're going to censor it, at least do, you know, properly censor it. Don't make people go, why is this note about drinking fizzy drinks called high spirits? Yeah, but I mean, it's not like, you know, it ruins the game or anything. It's not like, what, my character went to the cafe and drank 10 sodas and is sleepy. That doesn't make any sense. 0 out of 10. It's not like that's happening. It's just... It's the kind of thing where, like, if a kid played it, they'd probably go, that doesn't make any sense, but... somebody older playing it would go, oh, it's probably because they changed it from alcohol to soda. Hence why it's called, why the note for it is called high spirits. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm losing quite a bit of time in this split for 2 reasons. One is because I didn't actually get any rain this time round. And the other reason is because I got the passing out note during the split, which I wouldn't have done in my PB or my best. Right, so the mine kind of messed me up last time because I was expecting to get a moonstone, but there wasn't. But luckily I was able to save that, but it just ended up taking a little bit longer than is ideal. Okay, copper. That's not usually there. That definitely isn't usually there. Okay, get rid of the junk ore. Because the problem is the one thing that didn't show up was silver. Which is the thing I need. That's silver, no, that's junk. Okay, I'm just gonna reset the floor. Yeah, the mine messed up again, which is irritating, because I think that's the most frustrating thing, is the fact that it feels like it should be 100% consistent, but it isn't. Like, I'd say it's definitely more than 50%. But there is just a chance that, like, it won't be exactly the way that you want it. Which is just bizarre. Yeah, I don't know what changes it. Because I feel like if it was just like a random seed type thing, I feel like it would be way more random and there wouldn't be such a high chance of it being the same every time. But there's definitely got to be then something that happens that affects that. I'm just not 100% sure what it would be. Right, so inventory storage. It's a glitch. That wasn't the first try, I don't think. No. Don't think that was it. Okay, no. Cool. Second try's fine. Still better than my PB, so. Okay, yeah. So now to actually explain inventory storage. Basically, in this game, seeds are the only items that are stackable. And they only, like, the number of them you have in your rucksack only decreases when you actually, like, when you use them, but it decreases, like, once you've finished using it. So it actually, like, so it decreases the number of seeds you have in your bag once the animation is over. So in the case of you only having one seed of that specific type or one seed in that slot, that seed disappears at the end of the animation. So because you're able to use the C-stick select menu whilst you're actually using an item, you can equip the seeds that you're using just as, like, they're disappearing. And basically if you do it just at the right moment, all your items merge together. Or that's at least what it looks like. I don't think they actually do merge all together. And basically what happens is the contents of your rucksack is stored and saved so that if you try and swap any items out or swap them around or do anything like that, your rucksack won't actually change the items, or it won't be updated rather. Is it a permanent glitch? No, there are two ways in which you can get out of this state. So yeah, so that's the thing. It's like it's not just like a glitch that you do and then is done or whatever. It's kind of like a state that you enter and exit. So whilst I'm in this state, anytime if I try and get rid of an item or anything like that, I'll still have it in my rucksack. So case in point, I'll give Blue this milk here, and then I'll still have milk in my rucksack. But yeah, so there are two ways to exit inventory storage. The first way, which is used in the run, is to upgrade your rucksack. I'm assuming it works if you get like the second rucksack upgrade, where you have to actually it's actually an upgrade. It's not just you buy a bigger rucksack, but it definitely works for buying the first rucksack upgrade. And then the second way to exit the state is just by saving and reloading. But ideally in a run, or in an any percent run at least, you shouldn't want to exit the state the second time round. You should only need to go into inventory storage twice in the run, and the second time you go into it you should be able to just stay in inventory storage for the rest of the run. Oops. Yeah, it makes the game quite broken. And it also just looks a bit weird sometimes. So sometimes when you're using the C-stick menu, some of the items will appear glitched out. So some of the sprites for the items will appear on top of each other, or it will show the wrong sprite for the item. So the way you can tell what item you're using is by the text. Because the text is always correct, but sometimes the actual the image for it isn't. I can't actually remember whether I've shipped the silver or not. So I'm going to do it again just in case I haven't. Yes, Japanese would probably save time on this. Though I guess, to be very specific, it depends on what version of the Japanese game you're playing on. So yeah, so there are actually two versions released in Japan. There was the original version, which I believe the Japanese title translates, I think it translates to Song for Happiness or Song of Happiness. And then there was an updated version released, called Song of Happiness for World, and the version that was localized and released in America and Europe was the For World version. And so the original Japanese version wouldn't actually be faster. Actually, I guess at this point, I don't know actually, because so in the original Japanese version, some items sell for less than they do in the updated version. So it's just actually like a bit more difficult. But in this run, considering you don't make any money from, well, you make a bit of money from shipping items, because you make a bit of money from shipping green herbs. But pretty much most of your money comes from, what's it called? Comes from inventory storage. That wouldn't necessarily make a difference. But I haven't actually checked this, but according to Desert Penguin, who also has a copy of the original Japanese, or has at least played the original Japanese version, apparently Blue Sky Ranch doesn't sell milk or eggs in the original Japanese version. So that would, it would be a little bit harder to befriend Blue. Well, okay, no, it would be harder to befriend Blue, because you wouldn't be able to use milk unless you got a cow, which would be slow. So it'd be a little bit slower in that way, but then there would just be, but it would most likely save a lot of time through text. So even though text goes quite fast in this game, it would still save time on text. So yeah, so the updated version would save time on text as well as the original version, but the updated version would, because it would basically be the same as the version I'm playing right now, except in Japanese. So that would probably be the fastest version of this game, unless there were like some original version exclusive glitches or something. Which there aren't any that I know of. Oh yeah, I mean it would definitely save time. I just don't know how much time it would save overall. I think it would definitely save like at least a minute, because you gotta think there's like all of the talking during the intro cutscene, and there's pretty much every time you go to a festival. And so, like, I mean, the longer ones that would save time on would be like the romantic festivals, because they've got more text. But I guess it would still also save a bit of time on like even the shorter festivals. So cutscenes like this as well would be shorter. Nice. That's the second time I've tripped on grass, and it's happened twice in one day. That's just bizarre. I don't think it was that hard to route in the item duplications because Bob and Blue were pretty much a given. Oh well, Ellen was obviously going to get an item, was going to get duplicated because you have to befriend her for the various festivals and stuff. And then Bob and Blue just kind of made sense to add because of the fact that they're all in like the same space. So even then, it has become become a little bit more optimized than it originally was when I first started routing it because I think for the most part, you should you should be able to you can duplicate the items, and then just exit inventory storage on that first day. But if you stay in inventory storage for just 2 days and wait until the Wednesday, actually you can't do it on the Monday because on the Monday, well you can, but on the Monday the seed shop is closed. So you can do it on the Tuesday, but then on the Tuesday the what's it called? The carpenter's is closed. The junk shop may also be closed on that day. I'm not sure. But yeah, but because of the way you do it, you only you have just enough space to duplicate all the items. I guess you don't need to duplicate that many fish. But just because of the way the glitch works, if you duplicate 6 of the items, the 3 items that you give them on the Monday, the Tuesday, and the Wednesday whilst you're in inventory storage, and then when you come out of inventory storage, you still have the items in your bag. So then those are the 4 lots of items you give them. So it does actually kind of work out quite neatly. Didn't particularly like how close Blue was getting. And don't want to accidentally give someone the wrong gift because that would cost a bit of time. Okay, so this should be the final day of giving gifts. And I haven't messed it up and accidentally thrown things on the floor, so it should definitely be it. Okay, so because I've finished befriending Bob, Blue and Ellen, I can now move away from them. Okay, so this might not be a goal, but very similar to the last run. This will definitely be a big time save. Okay, only 25 seconds ahead. That's not bad. I could be further ahead, but I just didn't get lucky with rain during the Egg Festival split. So far, everything else has actually gone pretty well. I guess besides also the first trip to the mine, but... Okay. Right, so what am I looking for? I'm actually looking for junk ore. I haven't got any of that. So I'm looking for junk ore, limestone, rare ore, and if I get a moonstone, that's a bonus, but I don't need it. That's copper. Silver. Moonstone, so I may as well take it. Okay, limestone. So now I'm just looking for rare ore, which is easier to find on lower floors. Okay, good. I was worried that I was getting pretty low on stamina. Not so good this time. Oh, come on. Okay, whew. That was close. If that animation went on for like not even a second longer, I would have missed that. And that has happened to me before, where I've missed items because of the animation. Right, so that wasn't a great, that wasn't that good of a second trip to the mine, and unfortunately the first wasn't that good either. It's okay, I should still save time. Okay, it's not as good as last one, but still pretty good. And I am actually further ahead on Big Eater, so I think that could go a bit better. Hey, Moon Gangster, how are you? Okay, so luckily spring is a little less busy than, or summer rather, is less busy than spring. I think there are a few more festivals to go to in spring, but, or in summer rather. I guess it depends on whether or not you go to fireworks. I definitely want to do the weather day before the fireworks festival, so I can judge whether or not I should do Big Eater. But luckily, I don't have to be rushed into doing it before the Firefly Festival because I had the spare moonstone. I don't know why I'm matching through this cutscene, there's no text left. I always find myself doing that. I almost went like just into the house then instead of going to sleep through the pause menu. That would have been weird. Right, I'm going to do this now so that so if there's a cloudy day, I can just go. I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to ask with the question for what speedrun, but I'm currently speedrunning Harvest Moon Magical Melody any percent, so that's just the category to beat the game as fast as possible. Okay, cloudy day, that means I can do it today. And it's a Sunday, so I can actually do it today. Sure, for that one final check. Yep. Yep. Right, so I'm about to go back into inventory storage, and assuming I do this correctly, I won't have to go back into inventory storage for the rest of the run. No, I don't think I got that right. Yep. Okay, there we go. So I could have actually left this a little bit further into summer, and it would be a bit easier to do the weed note that I'm doing now because of the fact that there'd be more weeds around. Didn't really want to take the risk though, because I've definitely been messed over before by waiting for notes, or by waiting for cloudy days and then them just not appearing. So anyone in chat who was here for the previous run, if they remember what time I got the weed note, or if they could go back into the VOD and check and tell me, that'd be much appreciated. Because I would kind of like to compare as to what time I got the weed note on both of these runs, so I can kind of see what like the average time is looking at. I want to say it was something like 11:10 maybe. Yeah, if I'm right in thinking it was 11:10, then that's about the same. The problem now is I'm just not as close to the farm as I was. But I do need the cow to cooperate with me and not disappear into the tool shed this time. Because it's easier to get these this note at least, when you push the animals into a corner so they can't run away. But sometimes you can push the cow into an inconvenient corner where it then just teleports into either, in this case if it would teleport, it would teleport into the tool shed, but you can also get it slightly further up and it will teleport into the chicken coop. I think I've done it right, so it shouldn't teleport anywhere. Not if it does that though. Okay, just before 2, I don't know how that compares to my PB. I definitely don't think I did as good on the weeds, because I was a lot closer to Blue Sky Ranch. I don't know about my PB, but in the run I just did. But then again, I also feel like the brushing went better in this run than in my previous run. I think it's pretty much working out the same though, so that's fine, I guess. I'm not sure whether I want to go for Big Eater, because I'm definitely in some kind of position to do it. Like, I think I'm in a better position than I would have been in my PB or in the previous run, but I'm not 100% convinced it is a risk worth taking. Maybe just like even in general. That would have been bad. I almost didn't read that bookshelf. I think just because I went for Big Eater strats in my PB, and because I went for him in the previous run, and I'm in a better position to do for it to work out on this run, I think I should go for it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So that means I'm going to skip the fireworks festival. And instead of going to that festival, I'm going to try and get the Big Eater note. Which I think means this will be the last festival I go to in spring. Yeah. So that means the rest of the spring will just be sleeping. I keep calling it spring, it's summer, what am I saying? I just realised that. I kept calling it spring. The rest of summer should just be sleeping. Spring's over. Okay, so I've skipped the fireworks festival, which means I'm stuck now. The next quickest backup is not at all quick, so hopefully I'm right. And hopefully I also don't mess up like I have done the past few times and miss a note. I see gold the split as well. On the 29th I definitely will gold the split. Right, so fall's just a little bit more of the same. There are a couple of festivals I have to go to in fall, but there's only 3 of them in fall, and 2 of them are really quick ones, so that's always nice. So yeah, so there isn't really any time to be saved or time to be lost in the fall split. Because this splits just kind of sleep throughout all the fall and go to 3 festivals. So the festival I just skipped there was the fall horse race festival. There's no point going to that one because, well, to either of the horse race festivals because, don't have a horse, and even though there is like the possibility that if you go to the horse race festival, you meet quite a few people who you can then get notes from slightly later on. So the biggest example is the high spirits notes. So you go to the horse race festival and you meet Doug and Duke, who then open cafes in the village in summer and fall, which you can get the high spirits note from. But the problem with that is like the introduction cutscene at the horse race is so long, it's just not at all worth it. Plus, you then also actually have to watch the introduction cutscene at the cafe, because when you go to the cafe, that's when you meet someone whose name I can't remember. I guess it depends on which cafe you go to, but I'm pretty sure only one of them serves soda. So, it's the Moonlight Cafe, I think it is. Whoops, I was supposed to befriend the dolphin then. Oh well. I'll have to catch up that in winter, I think. Okay, so even though there's no real time to be lost or saved in fall, because of a mistake I made in my PB, I had to skip my summer split. So the fall split should be where you get to see how far ahead or behind I guess I am. Though I won't be behind, I don't think. Though also gets more accurately, it's actually winter that shows how far ahead I am, because so in this run I skipped a festival in summer. I skipped the fireworks festival because that's the longest festival that's still in the run. But in my PB I skipped the Starlight Festival, which is the next longest festival to skip, which is a winter festival. So if I were to go to the festival in summer, I'd lose about like 2-3 minutes there, but I wouldn't lose that time in winter. Whereas because I've skipped the festival in summer, I probably will lose a couple of minutes in winter. But I think I should still be ahead. I'm usually still ahead at that point. It's usually right at the end of winter I mess it up. Right, so I think I think I missed one day of befriending the dolphin. So I don't. So usually this would be the last day, I guess, but as I said, I think I missed a day. Yeah. So usually I get the option there, but I didn't. But hey, it means I golded that split. So yes, that means at the end of winter I should be somewhere between 6 and 7 minutes ahead, unless I make a big mistake. So the festival I just skipped was the chicken festival. Don't have any chickens, so can't win it, can't get the note, no point going. Right, so I'm hoping for a snow day sometime between now and the 19th. I guess ideally sometime between now and the 18th. Because I don't really want to take that risk with the day before the festival. Okay, good. Interesting, it took me that long to dig up a coin. The coin doesn't actually make a difference, but sometimes you can just get it really quick, sometimes you don't. I wonder what the max amount of money you can dig up at once is. So like, if I were to just pick that up, what the max amount that could be, would be. Because there's a note in the game for digging up, I believe it's 1,000 G worth of that. That would be kind of interesting though, if the max you could dig up was something like 1,000. So if you're ridiculously lucky, you could just get it in one go. I kind of doubt that's the case, but that would be kind of amazing. Damn, I think I actually picked up 2 at once then. Because there was one for 15 and there was one for 215. Also the moles nearby. Okay, and now it's time for the best note in the game, the stationary note, which you get for literally doing nothing. Alright. So 120, I think I should have about an hour and a half to continue with Big Eater. Okay. So that was about an hour and a half instead of just an hour. So yeah, so stationary is for standing still for an in-game hour and a half. Also, I kind of doubt this, but I wonder if there are items that are quicker to eat than others. Like, I doubt it because I'm pretty sure the eating animation is just the same. But it would be quite interesting if there were like slightly different eating animations for different things. Oh, I just realised I didn't actually I didn't ship the wooden stake. Yeah, so this note I was supposed to get in fall, but forgot about. So this is probably the best time to have gotten it. That barn is actually in like a really inconvenient place just for that one trip to the beach. But at the same time, it's probably also the most convenient place just to put it when, like, in the actual placing it down menu. And it's definitely not enough to like bother about, but it's just every time mildly frustrating. Okay, so still 2 more festivals before winter's over. And if the past runs I've done is anything to go by, this is when I mess it up. It was right near the end of winter. Because in a run I did last... and it was last week I did this run, where I was on a really good pace run, and I accidentally selected no to going to the festival with Ellen. Obviously there was the run earlier today in which I slept before I actually got the night owl note, so I missed that. So if I'm going to mess it up, this is where I'm going to mess it up, or around this point. So let's just really hope I don't. Okay, so just one more festival to go to. As I said, because in my PB I skipped the festival I just went to, I'll probably lose a couple of minutes here. But I should definitely still be ahead. And I should still be ahead by quite a bit. Like I think I said I'll probably be somewhere between 6 or 7 minutes still. No, it's going to cost a small bit of time. I'm actually going to save there. So if something does go wrong, it's at least not the end of the run. And I can at least finish the run without having... Or I can theoretically finish the run without having to lose loads of time. Right, so I think this should be my 45th note. Because there's Dish Festival, New Year's Sunrise, there's Spring Footsteps, Animal Kingdom. Oh, no, this will be my 44th note. Animal Kingdom 3, Diary 4, Night Owl 5, and then Big Eater 6. Wait, no, I think that means this will be my 45th. Whatever. I know how many notes I have left, which is the important thing. Okay, 6.5 minutes ahead, that's good. Right, so really important, don't leave the house before I actually get the note for Big Eater. That's very important. Oh, not Big Eater, Night Owl. I stopped saving one off the number I was supposed to do. So that's 47, so I have 3 notes left. Spring Footsteps, which I'm about to get, Animal Kingdom, and Big Eater. So this is kind of like the final interesting part of the run, I guess. Getting these last couple of notes. Because once I've got these notes, it's just going to be like 9 minutes of cutscenes, so exciting. Okay, one more note left. Also, at this point, it's like guaranteed PB. Like, there is no way. Like, even if because Big Eater will not take me 8 minutes to complete. So this is like a definite PB. It just kind of depends on how much. Right. So it's about 7.5 minutes ahead. Starting the final part of Big Eater. Damn, I'm actually losing time here. I don't know whether or not that would mean Big Eater wasn't worth it, or if it just means I was able to get further into it in my PB. Okay, so that was about 2 minutes. So yeah, so that means I spent roughly 2 minutes doing the Big Eater note that wasn't as part of something else, which means because the Fireworks Festival is about 3 minutes, that means going for the Big Eater strat saved me about a minute. So I'd still say that's quite good. So yeah, so this was quite a good run. It's always difficult because of the fact that I lost almost a minute in the last split. It's difficult to tell as to whether or not then that means if Big Eater was worth it. I think it was. Yeah, I think it still would have been worth it. I think maybe there may have been other reasons why I lost time in that last split. But yeah, no, yeah, like a minute is still only a minute. Like losing a minute is pretty good, especially in my PB. Only PB'd by like what 15 seconds or something. I can't remember how much I PB'd by when I got my current one, but it wasn't by much. I remember that. But no, so considering it will be like a 5.5 minute PB, that's still quite good. That'll make it what 2:21 something, I think. Easily, I think the worst part of this run was the mines, because the first trip to the mine got messed up and wasn't the one it usually. It didn't. It decided to do a different. As you know, it did the same like layout, so all the rocks and stuff were in the same place, but it gave me different ores than I'm used to. So that messed me up a bit, and then that caused the second trip to the mine to go not as well. So the mine is probably the biggest improvement on this run. I mean, I guess I can save time on the Egg Festival, but because it looks like I lost loads of time on the Egg Festival split, but like the big part of like that losing time there was just because that's when I got the passing out note, and I didn't get it there on my PB. So running against these splits, assuming I'm consistent with the route, then the biggest time save I can get from the Egg Festival split would be rain, because I didn't get any rain in this run. So I can definitely beat this run. I'm not sure whether I'm going to try and beat this run. Whether or like. So I do want to continue streaming, although I do want to get something to eat first. But I don't know whether I want to do another 80% run to try and beat this one, or whether I just want to go, okay, I PB'd in 80%, that's good enough, and then do at least one marriage run. The one was when I did a marriage run last stream, it was fun, but it just wasn't as enjoyable to me as 80%. But maybe that's just because I'm more used to 80%. But I don't know. But I also don't want to do like too much of 80% just because like I've just got a PB, so then even a pretty good run might consider not as good because I've just got a run or because I've just finished. Thanks for congrats, Hydraulics. You should watch my streams more often then, so I can get more PBs. Yeah, currently I'm thinking my goal for this game. I'm thinking sub 220. I think that can definitely be done. I think it's just I need to get good luck. Yeah, I think you were there for when I got my current PB, but yeah, like I think every run since then has died right at the end for one reason or another. Right, so this is just over the halfway point. You get the power berry at 30 notes. That's how I know. There's only a few cutscenes left. But yeah, as I was saying, I think sub 220 definitely possible. It just requires a bit of good luck. Yeah, the last time I was streaming was a few days ago now. Was it a few days ago I had a really good run? I don't think it was. I think a few days ago I had, the last stream I had an okay run. But I messed up something. I can't remember what I messed up. I can't remember whether that was the run where I accidentally declined the invite to the Starlight Festival. Oh, there was, no, I think that was the one where I accidentally skipped the passing out note, so I had to get that one again. But yeah, but no, that stream I did also get, I did do a marriage run and I got a PB in that, just because, it was my first run. But yeah, so I definitely got a PB in that. And to be fair, I could probably beat that PB. I've probably beat it just because it was the first run I did of it. Yeah, this is the one thing that irritates me about this game, is you have to go, like, you finish a run, and you're like, yes, this is definitely a PB, but I have to wait for 10 minutes to go, yeah, don't worry, it definitely is a PB. If there was a way to skip cutscenes in this game, that would be it would be amazing. But I'm not sure there, well, there kind of is, but definitely not a way you'd be able to skip this cutscene. How many cutscenes do you need to watch? I believe it's 9. Or there's 9 cutscenes that are actually like part of the run. Because there are the 9 instruments, so there's one every 5 notes, so it goes up to 45, and then you get and then the run ends at 50. So at 50 you get the orchestra cutscene, but time has already stopped by that point. Oh man, I almost got that as well. 2:21:43. That's a good run.